So I'm wandering around SEMA once again, and I see in the Magnuson booth an absolutely stunning Coronet. What year is the Coronet?
1968.
My buddy Mark. Mark and I have been BSing about this car. And Mark isn't the owner. Who is the owner?
Joel Applegate.
So Joel's the owner, but you pretty much put this car together nut and bolt wise?
Yeah, it was a project. He bought the car in 2009 from a guy who, it was a project car with him and his sons. And they had some financial issues and they had to sell the car. So Joel bought the car. Ironically, the trailer that brought it out here is the same one we picked it up in 2009. So that was about 3 months after Joel got married. And the car didn't run. It was painted and it was pretty rough. But we went ahead and took it back to his house. He got it up and running with the original. It had a 383 4-barrel in it with a torque plate. Got it running, and after his daughter was born, she was riding around in the car from 6 months old until whatever. So they were going to car shows and all kinds of other stuff.
So it kind of went to that, like, it went to that point, and then did he come to you and say, hey, I want to elevate this build a little bit?
Yeah, the idea was always to do a modern HEMI upgrade. Originally it was going to be this motor that we built, and it was going to be with the old A580 transmission. Things progressed along. Joel's dad got sick, and it turned out this ended up being a 2-car project. His dad had purchased a 1968 Charger, and it was Joel and Justin and his father were going to do a restoration project when they were in high school. Car got parked, never got worked on. Dad got sick. Joel said, I'm going to go to Jersey, pick up the Charger, bring it back. We're going to take the powertrain out of this car, put it in his car, get it up and running, and then take him to Woodward with it, and so he could have a little fun with it in case something happens and things go bad. So we got that car done, and this one kind of got pushed off to the side for a while.
Kind of happens that way sometimes. It's a
yeah.
Musical chairs. Now let's talk about the engine of this thing, because we kind of in our pre-video talked about this, that from a distance I'm like, oh, that's a pretty solid looking restomod. Then I get up under the hood, I'm like, all right, this thing's got some new power to it. Kind of tell me about the engine package that's in this thing now with the fun power adder.
So it's one of the original Arrows Arrington aluminum block 6.1 based blocks. It's actually bored and stroke. It's 440 cubic inches, which is what Joel wanted.
Nice.
And then it's got a custom Arrington cam in it. It's got ported and polished Apache heads, which are the new style 6.4 big valve wide rocker shaft head. Trying to think of what else. There's so much.
It's so much stuff. Like I was telling you, it's all good.
Yeah.
Now, how much power is this thing put down?
Don't know yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Enough, right?
Yeah, right. More than the 8 3/4 323 can handle.
So we're at that point of the build where we know it's going to make power, but let's not. I know how much making, but I don't know how much that transmission is willing to take, right?
So the transmission happens to be an 8 HP 90 Hellcat transmission, and we put the Demon torque converter in it.
Nice.
And flashed the TCM with the Demon calibration. And then integrated the whole system. We're using a Holley engine controller. And we're using Russell Drake's Sound German Engineering PCS trans interface module, which made it really pretty easy.
So this is legit like you can almost say the perfect restomod, where it just looks like on the outside bone stock, but it's got that new power where it just fires right up and goes, right?
Right, and I think that's what the restomod industry kind of started as. Guys took classic cars, but they were tired of breaking down with the old stuff, and so they wanted to do upgraded modern powertrains in them. But the whole market's kind of gone crazy. I mean, there's beautiful cars out there, but who's going to drive them, right?
This is a driver then, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Joel wants to do Route 66 with his daughter in this car, so when we get it back, get it all finished up and tuned up and ready to go, it should be good to go. The other thing that was interesting is everybody says you can't put the modern transmission in without cutting the tunnel because there's not enough room, but there actually is. The transmission has a whole lot of bosses and fittings and stuff that are set up just for the machining purposes.
Cut those babies off.
Cut them off. Yep. You can shape the transmission case and put it up in there, and I can pretty much get my whole hand up over the top of the trans.
So it's like I say, anything's possible with a cut-off wheel and the desire to get the job done.
Yeah, sledgehammer, duct tape, pliers.
Yeah, anything. Well, Mark, I appreciate you taking time. It's a beautiful car. You did a great job with this.
Thank
and you know, we'll keep an eye out at future shows. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of a shoot with it, but make sure you stay tuned to Street Muscle and Power and Performance to see more of what we got.